Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. We've got a different attire today, because we're ready to go, right? And I need after today, I need Chelsea to pick up 3 points tomorrow. There is no other option on the table here. We must, shout out Matisse, we must get 3 points tomorrow. Because what went down in the Premier League today was nothing short of incredible. In what was a lineup of games that looked, I don't want to say crap, but mediocre. You look at the 4 games that took place today and you just go, yeah, I'm not watching this. Like, look, Man City, Southampton, Brighton, Wolves, Brentford, Ipswich, Villa, Bournemouth. All of those games, except for City, Southampton. The other games all ended up being incredible. All. Man City beat Southampton 1-0. Haaland scored after 5 minutes and then Southampton did nothing. Brighton 2-0 up and with 5 minutes to go, Wolves get 2 goals back and score, I think it's the 96th minute, they managed to get an equaliser. Brentford versus Ipswich. Ipswich got a late 86th minute equaliser, if I'm not mistaken, it was 86. 86th minute equaliser, Delap. And then Brentford, Embuemo in the death, 4-3. And it was a crazy goal too. It just bounced into the corner. No one got to it. No one did anything. Strange. Aston Villa were 1-0 up. The 96th minute, Bournemouth get an equaliser. Absolutely incredible Premier League football today with fixtures that just you wouldn't think it would be incredible. But there we are. So going into tomorrow, and going into the way that the Premier League table is sitting at the moment, we're actually quite lucky that some of the results have ended up going the way that they did. Except for Brighton, it would have been nice if no, it's not Brighton. Sorry, Brighton Wolves 2-2. No, sorry, I'm thinking of Brentford Ipswich. Brentford have got nothing to do with us. Aston Villa 1-1 helped us a lot. Brighton Wolves 2-2 helped us a lot. So going into tomorrow, we got to capitalise. Man City got 3 points, which means that we are now 9 points behind City. We've got to play tomorrow, though. We've got to bring that back down to 6. And if we win tomorrow, we get ourselves back into the top 4, back level on points with Arsenal, and, in the midst of all the chaos that is going in and around there, with teams that, at this stage of the season, it's only 9 games in, but I'm actually surprised that these 2 teams have not fallen off just yet. And they're still in the mix. And that's Brighton and Nottingham Forest are ahead of us at the moment because of the result that they picked up yesterday where they beat Leicester 3-1. So this is this is a must. It's a must. And look, we are level on games with Tottenham. They're 1 point behind us. And Manchester United are also 3 points behind us. I don't want to get too, crazy here, but I find it unforgivable if those teams, especially United, get ahead of us. I'm not having it. And our run of games is not looking great. We've got to really, really knuckle down. This is where you earn your money. This is where you earn your salary, right? And this is the game coming up, Newcastle tomorrow, which on paper doesn't look too difficult because Newcastle have had a poor start to the season. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's happening. But Newcastle are sitting 12th. They are 1 point ahead of Man United, talking about that actually. But Newcastle's results have been poor. They lost to Brighton at home the last game. They drew at Everton 0-0. They beat Wimbledon 1-0 in the 3rd round of the FL Cup. They drew to City, which is not a bad result. They lost to Fulham away 3-1. Last win came in mid-September where they beat Wolves away 2-1. It's not great. It's not great at all. But Newcastle are that team. They are that team. They are that team that show up on a day like tomorrow. They'll rock up to Stamford Bridge and they'll win 2-0. Like, they are one of those teams. And especially with Chelsea, I don't like playing Newcastle. I just don't like it. Last season, I thought it was going to be really bad. We managed to get away with it, where we knocked them out of the cup. I remember that. But overall, our experiences, especially going to St. James's Park, is just not good overall. So we've got to do both in the space of 3 days. We've got Newcastle tomorrow in the league at home. And then we've got the EFL Cup round of 16 away at St. James's Park. So and that's on Wednesday. So it's not easy. After that is where it gets serious for us as well. We've got to play Man United. We've got to play Arsenal. We've got to play Noah. But we have to take it seriously. We have to take it seriously, and we really, really need to knuckle down and pick up 3 points tomorrow. No excuses. No excuses. Especially after losing to Liverpool, our last game at Anfield. In the long context of things, you can get away with that. I don't want to make that the norm, because I remember when Chelsea were not really competing for the title, but we were always going to the big teams and causing them trouble. Always, always, always. We had a very, very, very strong record against the top four back in the day, and now it's known as the Big Six, because there's six. But we don't really have that anymore. And we really need to grasp that again, as well as we need to pick up in games like tomorrow. There's just no excuses. So let's see what happens. In terms of team news, well, where's the list? Here's the list. The rehabilitation list is still empty, ladies and gentlemen. It's still empty. No one's injured. So we've got a whole squad available. Come on. Shout out to the medical team. It seems like you lot are doing a good job. Keep it up. That's all I can say about it, really. I don't want to jinx it. Please no one get injured tomorrow. But everyone's available. And we've seen the aftermath of Maresca making the comments last night about Reece James. And I put out a video earlier on about that. If you haven't seen it, go and watch the video I put out earlier on. Because today is a double upload. You're lucky. You're lucky Maresca spoke. If not, there wouldn't have been a double upload. But those comments need to be taken seriously. Reece James is back in the fold properly, and I expect him to really have a fire lit up his backside, basically, after that. And I'm expecting him to put on a proper performance tomorrow. Proper, raw, you know? Don't throw yourself into everything. I understand you just come back from injury, but give it everything you got. You know what I mean? In terms of the performance and in terms of being vocal. And aside from that, look, we've got, I think, healthy issues at the club at the moment, because we are rotating when it comes to the Conference League, and then we do have selection issues, right? Healthy selection issues, good selection issues, selection issues you want to have. I'll give an example. Who's starting on that left wing? For me, I think it's pretty straightforward. I'll give you my starting 11 in a sec. But there's that. Who starts in defence is pretty much, I think, a given. And I'll get to that as well. Who starts in goal? I'll get to that as well. Who starts up front? I'll get to that as well. So there's some healthy issues that Maresca has to deal with. But I feel like those are questions that don't necessarily have to be answered right now. I feel like we do have the luxury of giving it a few games, maybe even a couple of games, before we begin to really understand what the proper starting 11 is. And this is something that Maresca has to nail down. He has to nail his starting 11. You need to know who are your best 11. And I feel like we're getting there, but there's still some question marks. So let's get into the starting 11 for tomorrow and what I've picked. And let's answer a few of those questions, shall we? So here's my starting 11. Right, let's get into this. So, this is my team, basically. I'm going to be straight with you. I'd change the goalkeeper. I'd be up for that. Jorgensen starts for me, because I understand it's Panathinaikos. It's not, a huge test or whatnot. But I don't know about you. The opposition might not be so fantastic, but even in terms of the ball, I feel more secure with Jorgensen than I do with Sanchez. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, Sanchez can pull off a worldie here and there. Sometimes he can pull off an absolute fantastic save. But that doesn't concern me. It's not the shot stopping. It's the mistakes on the ball. It's the lack of focus or concentration. It's the stupid pass to the opposition. It's the stupid pass off the pitch. It's those things. And Jorgensen so far, for the few times he's played, I've not seen an issue. None at all. I feel more secure. So for me, I would honestly go with Jorgensen, man. We've already had how many occasions, how many times have we said with Sanchez as a problem? It's too much. It's just too much of a risk. It's too much of a risk now. I feel like it's getting... You're going to get 1 or 2 brilliant performances, and then we're going to get 3 horrendous shockers after that. It's not consistent. I would rather have an average 6 out of 10 goalkeeper in goal that doesn't really cause me problems. You know? So, for me, Jorgensen starts. The back line picks itself. Cucurella left back without question. He's definitely the first starter right now, and he gets the spot. Centre backs, Colwell, who's been praised by Maresca yesterday. Fantastic, good to see. Hope he keeps it up. Fofana comes back into the fold without question, and at right back, Reece James. Look, he's healthy, he's fit, he can play. Well, you're starting. Simple as that. Yeah. Liverpool, I wouldn't have thrown him in like that, but apparently he was fit and he was ready to go. So, for me, apologies, indigestion. It's the thought of Reece James getting injured again. But Reece James starts, no questions asked. If he's ready to go, he plays. Midfield picks itself. Enzo, Caicedo, is what it is. Palmer, just in front of him, is what it is. This is where there's some selection issues, and let's talk about it. I wouldn't make the change yet. I know for a fact, there'll be some of you in the comments, and you're entitled to this, that would say, no, Mudryk starts on the left. No, Pedro Neto starts on the right. No, Nkunku starts up front. I get it. I actually get it for every single one that you mentioned, but I wouldn't change it yet. Because just as much as you can make a case for those players now getting a shot, I feel like there's just as much of a case for these players to see if they can keep it up and keep consistent. Sorry, I couldn't get the tongue twister out there. But can they stay consistent? Jackson, for example, I don't feel like deserves to be dropped, but Nkunku deserves to play. Sancho doesn't deserve to be dropped, but Mudryk put in a great performance last game. Does he deserve to play? I would say no. You know what? I don't think he should start. I think Mudryk, if he is going to be improving, does deserve to come off the bench and start having decent Premier League minutes now to see if he can get into a rhythm. And if he can't, then we have another problem to discuss. But if he can, then great. Madueke is a weird one. Because Pedro Neto does deserve to play, I feel like. And I get it. But Madueke, there's one thing I actually like about Madueke, and that's how direct he is. He is just super direct. Now, that can sometimes mean that he doesn't do the right thing. But he does engage. He causes something to happen. And we need that. He's not done anything wrong in that regard. The only thing I have with Madueke is just don't be selfish. That's it. When you can pass and you've got a teammate available who can score, pass it. If you've got no option, you can shoot. I'm not against you shooting, but him and Sancho are the opposites, like I've mentioned before. Sancho needs to shoot more. Sancho actually needs to take more initiative. He's great when he's taking on defenders. He's great when he's trying to approach the box. He's fantastic in trying to create and make things happen. He's fantastic in assisting. But when you've got a chance to go alone and you haven't got options, well, do it. Don't go backwards. And that's his one thing that he needs to improve, just as much as Madueke. The one thing he needs to improve is to maybe shoot a little less and look to your teammate a bit more often, but keep doing everything else. So they don't deserve to be dropped. These are not two players that deserve to be dropped because someone else is starting to play well. Like, no. But same way I said Mudryk deserves to come off the bench, perhaps, Pedro Neto is making a case for sure, and I feel like he maybe needs to come off the bench too. In the next couple of games, we can, I think, make a proper decision as to who is really starting. Is it Madueke or Pedro Neto, or is it Sancho or Mudryk? I feel like it will be Sancho. Madueke, Pedro Neto is tougher. I can't call it. I'll be honest, my gut feeling is telling me Pedro Neto. That's my gut. Long term, my gut is telling me, if I listen to my gut instinct, I would say Pedro Neto. But you never know. Jackson and Nkunku deserves to play. Nkunku should be on the pitch playing. He doesn't deserve to be on the bench. He's done nothing wrong. But you don't want to interrupt if Jackson is starting to maybe get to the next level. Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think it's a similar situation. Jackson, after an hour, you gauge how he's been playing. You gauge if he's on it, if he's not. If he's on it, he stays on. If he's not on it, you take him off. And then you bring Nkunku on and let him have half an hour. I feel like that's the perfect balance at the moment. So for me, that is what I would keep up with. Jackson scored against Liverpool. You don't want to interrupt that. When a striker's starting to score, he scored for Senegal in the international break, scores for Liverpool, against Liverpool. Not for Liverpool, bloody hell. Against Liverpool. You don't want to interrupt what could be a bit of rhythm starting. So this would be my starting 11. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section below. And let's get to the prediction. As I tell you to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to check out the socials. Don't forget to check out the second channel where a brand new video has been launched. So it's up there and it's a good informative video. So if you want to go over there, have a look, link in the description to my personal second channel. Make sure you're subscribed over there and enjoy the content as it comes very regularly there. I did say there was going to be content dropping very regularly, and that's the case now. It's going to be constant. So make sure you're catching it all as it drops. And the socials are where I'm super active on as well, Instagram specifically. My prediction: Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. I'm going 2-1. I don't want to say 2-0. That's just too cocky. It's just too much of an ego. I'm not going to do that. We conceded to Panathinaikos as well, man. We're not great when it comes to not conceding goals as of late, but we should win. At home, we should win. St. James's Park now, different story. And you'll get that preview on Tuesday. So make sure you guys are here for that. But I'll see you tomorrow after the game is all said and done for the review. Make sure you're here. I'll see you then. Take care, people. Enjoy the game. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.